America is ready for war as American base was attacked. They rallied 4.1 million troops on Canada and Belize's border, ready to fight the Allies. Germany and allies also attack. And well, allies, this war is going to be deadly, but where will the Rome Pact and the Soviet-Japanese Pact do? Do they align against the Allies with America, or do they not? Will the Soviets expand into Poland and Rome Pact in Africa? Well, please subscribe, and let's back up to see what happens. It is currently 1941. By February 1941, America positioned 1 million troops across Canada's border. Britain sends reinforcements to Canada, but America is planning something. By March 21st, 1941, America gets its soldiers to dress up like Canadian and British forces and attack Detroit and retreat. By April 1st, America sends an ultimatum demanding demilitarize Canada, Belize, Guyana, Jamaica, Bahamas immediately or face war. But the next day, Britain and Canada refuses. War is inevitable. Now, as of May 6, 2026, America invades Belize, Jamaica, French, and Dutch, British South America holdings. And while Bahamas, Canada from Detroit into Ontario, West Coast and central cities, and into Halifax and Newfoundland to create a blockade. Well, let's see how it goes. And well, now to get all the nations and see how this war goes. Their heads in disbelief at how America would start a war with the largest alliance. Well, let's go here and see what happened. They swiftly take Belize, Jamaica, Bahamas, all these islands I didn't color in, and then they land in French Guyana, British Guyana, and Suriname. As the Allies fall out with their first offensive in towards Ontario through Detroit, and they quickly move in and take cities like Toronto, Montreal, Quebec City, Ottawa, and they destroy this part. Meanwhile, they also take out the west coast of Canada. And quickly, they start going through towards western cities from Alberta to Manitoba. Quickly seizing this. And also, they also seize Halifax, Nova Scotia, all of Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Gaspe Peninsula, and they also land in Newfoundland. With British forces being wiped and Canadian forces, Canada split in multiple places. And while they managed to make a Labrador landing, securing all of this, while they do that, they move up to secure Greenland and Iceland. As they secure all of this, Canada ends up falling out of a vast majority of their frozen territory. And now it's basically just Quebec. Which, yeah, isn't great. And there's nothing left. With forces having to retreat from here as there's no way they could hold it. Well, at this point, it hasn't been a long time. It's May. It's late May now. And well, the Washington Pact decides to join. And I accidentally gave one of the Pact members into their Liberia. Liberia, stop doing that. Germany. Ireland. Both parts of Germany. And well, also Thailand. And American Philippines. I don't know why they took so long. Also, you see Australia and New Zealand. Yeah, they left. They see the writing on the wall and were like, we're not getting invaded. We're not wasting lives for this empire. And while you might be asking, how does Germany do? Oh, not good. Not good at all. With a big chunk of the West becoming an occupation zone. But as Britain is humiliated by their losses, as multiple fronts push back, but Britain, on the other hand, fails to push back Ireland, instead getting invaded by Ireland. What kind of losers are they? And while it's June 6th, the Rome Pact decides to join. You might say, why? Why would you join this war? Just why? And to that I have to say, we hate the British. Yeah. Hate the British. The British are evil, even though they made the world great in our time. They were a great nation. They made the world great. Even though they're all saying, oh, you should love the Arab caliphates. Yeah. You know when I'll like Arab caliphates? Never. You know when I'll like the British Empire? Also, never. You know when I'll be a state socialist? Never. You know when? Yeah, let's give it up. Who cares? And well, also at the same time, the USSR decides, yeah, you know what? Let's beat some British butt. You might be asking, why didn't the rest of their allies join? Because why would they join? Yeah. And well, the allies are struggling. Oh. Let's go to Poland. We're at the Polish invasion. And Poland, have fun. Have fun ever watching Poland get beat up. Aw, I love Poland. Bye, Poland. Have a good day. Love y'all. Love ya. We love Poland. And if you don't, get out. Actually, continue watching the video, but reflect on what you said. Poland? What Poland do to you? And now if you're fleeing Poland because Poland is secretly Poland, maybe. And as you can see, now let's look at the African front. With Liberia advancing rapidly. The British are embarrassed. What a shocker. And Portugal falls. Yeah, we're going to the bitter end of this. With France holding strong, with Britain getting humiliated. Twice. Maybe even 3 times, one might argue. As France starts getting kicked in the butt. And well, Italy, how are you doing this? And Turkey, finally, you bring back the evil Ottoman Empire that beat up the greatest people, the Balkaners. With them advancing north a bit, but not much, because they need to hold their front. With America starting 3 fronts. They land here, in Nigeria. They land in South Africa. And they land in the Congo. Let's hope these soldiers don't get malaria. And while Thailand pushes quickly into British Malaysia, and also very quickly in the French Indochina, while also kicking British Raj's butt and taking Bangladesh over. Quickly securing the exit of British Indo. With them taking over most of the lands, not all. With British Africa collapsing, also Saudi Arabia, why are you pretending to be part of the war? Everlight, Saudi Arabia is not part of this war, I lied. With French Africa on the verge of collapse. But at this point, with the Soviets stalled out in the north. To British forces somehow. Embarrassing. Well, the Germans do some stuff. The Germans do some shenanigans. And at this point, France is in trouble. With France's fall going to be a major event for this series. And well, Germany expands in all directions as the Americans finally decide it's time to take Britain out. But instead, with British's will to continue fighting, they only take over Scotland, and Scotland shares their entrance. And yeah, as France is on the verge of collapse, or Britain, who will fall first, who knows. With Norway beginning to fall, meanwhile, The Soviets begin their push into Sweden to secure it. As for a deal they made with the devil, I tell y'all not to make deals with the devil. Look what happens when you do. Is that a fair point, or is that fairly wrong? Well, you'll have to figure it out. And while with France losing control of a lot of areas, at this point in the south, Italy and Spain decides to invade here. And then these forces advance south, quickly taking over most of France. With this, they manage to take over Britain. And at this point, these colonies are in shambles, with the Americans taking advantage of it to walk in and liberate the places. By liberate, I mean subjugate, but realistically, who's going to notice? With at this point, as you can clearly see this front is over. While America wanting some oil, is there even oil at this point? Who knows? This secures the African colonies' exit of the war, with America advancing as far as they can at this point, which becomes somewhere over here. Meanwhile, in the north, this area falls. And as we can see, well, let's go to the major peace treaty. Okay, this wasn't it. This is a peace treaty. Let's go through it. Let's start in, as we can see, American Southeast Asia has been created. Thailand greatly expands into British Raj, taking over Indochina. In the south, you can see Liberia gains a bunch of lands and creates the West American West Africa, American Central Africa, and American South Africa, includes Madagascar. American Arabia, as we can see there. American Guyana. America annexed all Iceland, Greenland, Canada, Ireland annexed Northern Ireland. Britain is puppeted. Northern France is puppeted. Germany greatly expands in all directions, and so does a Polish puppet. They also create a Norwegian puppet, while the Russians, the Soviet Union, creates a Swedish puppet and gains lands out of Finland. To these guys, well, you can see Italy annexed Northern Africa and East Africa and Sudan. Turkey brought back the Ottoman Empire, and, well, Spain made a bigger land. In Australia and New Zealand, realized they made the right choice. British Raj is on its own, can't stand the alliances. I need to fix one map, which is this map, as you can see, is a bit outdated. But that's the alliance map, and as you can see, the allies are gone. And there's 3 packs left. And, well, the allies have been whipped up by the war. As colonies taken, land taken, puppets made, Americans living the dream from a gigantic gains. But paranoia is now on the power-hungry Soviets, who are devastating the world with Japan. But they see the Italians as the next target. The Soviets are their final boss. Well, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts and theories on our American Paranoia series. Also, click the notification bell as we return to the series on Wednesday next week. See you there, Wild Mapper out, but click a video above.